New project. It's a basket case, and it is a basket case scooter that I picked up for $100. Needs a new rear tire and a new cluster. I've got some needles. I might see if those needles will fit. If they will, I might just use this one. The only problem is water getting in it with the lens busted, and I can get a replacement one for like $40. So later on, that'll get dealt with. Right now, I'm just going through and assessing everything on it. A new CDI box is on it now, and I'm waiting for an ignition kit with a new ignition switch, keys, locks, and also a starter Bendix, because that one is missing teeth. Starter works fine. That Bendix does work when it grabs a tooth and actually will go around. So don't know if it runs. I was told it runs. This was a scavenge scooter for another unit. So some parts have come off of it and were being used, like the exhaust. I've got to buy an exhaust for it once I get it running. And again, new tire. We'll see what plastics are missing, if any. There is a breather box, which is important for air drag. And the kickstart actually works. It needs to be cleaned up, got a little bit of rust on it. But once I get the new Bendix in, I'll be able to manually start it over here with the solenoid. But that's what we're into now. So that's what I've been working on recently. The Saab is parked out back. I am not going to be working on that until probably later this summer. I just don't have time to devote to metal work and body work right now. I'm going to tinker on this some, and then get this running for the summer, so my kids can ride it down to the pool and ride to their friend's house and stuff like that. So it'll have all directionals, headlight, brake light. It will not have a tag. I do not have a title for it. I do not plan on going through the process of getting a indemnity policy to get a tag for it. It's just not worth it. Ran the VIN's fine. It matches, the VIN on that matches the footboard, the tag on the footboard. And the person I bought it from said it was a part of a repo, or not necessarily a repo, but an estate clean. And they pulled a bunch of stuff off the property, including this, and they were going to throw it in the dumpster. He said, no, I want it, and has been pulling parts off of it. So don't know yet what I'm going to do as far as performance on this thing. That's kind of getting ahead of everything, but I would like to put a big bore and stroker on this. It is a 50cc 4-stroke. I would like to make it a little bit bigger, and upgrade the variator, change the weights in it. And belt's in good shape. Pulleys are in good shape. So I don't know if this is if this CDI has a rev limiter on it or not. It cuts ignition when you get up to a certain number of pulses per second for RPMs, but got a lot of stuff to deal with before then. This is a Boadiao. And have no idea what the model is for it. I cannot find the model for this anywhere with the Boadiao name. but it is an exact copy of the Tao VIP Champion 50 or the CY50A, because it has the two headlight bulbs. It's got the two eyes with the grill. 26 something, 27-inch seat, and that cluster right there is from that series. It's under a whole bunch of different Chinese brands that I found out, but so I'm going to be getting parts for the Tao CY50A, also known as the VIP Champion. Go from there with it. Today we're going to see if we can get spark. I've picked up a plug. It didn't have a plug in it. Which is a NGK 2021, also known as a D8 EA. And I do not have a single plug socket that will fit that. So 18 millimeter socket is what we'll use, and over here I have a coil. No idea if it's any good, but we will find out soon enough. Which direction is... oh. Sure hope those threads aren't run. Why won't you start? That's supposed to be the right size plug for a GY6. Alright, let me try and get that on there. Well, it won't thread in, so I think we're going to have to take the plastics off from around it. Whoops. Get out of the way, carb. Let's see what that's under. The valve. Yeah, a little carbon on it, it's not too bad. Compression valve right there. So let's now see. If the missing, here it is. Spark plug is the issue, or that plug is too big to fit in there. That is not the right plug, even though that's what's spec for a GY6. That will never screw in there. So since I gotta wait on the ignition switch and the starter appendix before I can check for spark, because I have to be able to turn it over fast enough, and I don't want to mess with the kickstart yet. We know we gotta put a new tire on it, so I've already pulled out the swing arm bolts and disconnected the shocks, and basically there's a nut here that holds a spacer, the swing arm, and the other side of the wheel, since the other side is a complete assembly of transmission and engine. So you can't take, like on a motorcycle, pull the axle out and take the wheel off. You have to take it off from this side with the shocks disconnected. Made similarly as far as the four-wheelers and stuff. There's the spacer, axle nut. I don't think that there is a locking ring there. A little pressure behind it, see. I don't think that that's going to tip backwards. It shouldn't. I guess we'll find out when I pull this wheel out. Get that carb out of the way. Spacer. There we go. Whoops. Sorry about that. And there are your drum brakes, which your shoes are in really good shape. That's the linkage under there moving. And on this side, there is the drum. And it is made into the hub. That is not, or made into the wheel. That is not a separate piece. Quite a bit of meat left there though. Most of the braking's done by the front anyway, for stopping momentum. So we need $3.5 which are like $45. I don't think that one's gonna hold there. Maybe some Flex Seal. That'd be hilarious if you could actually ride it, covered it in Flex Seal. Okay, stem looks alright. Needs to be cleaned. Get a new tire on order for it. But I definitely want to make sure that's going to run before I buy the tire. Kind of pointless to buy the tire if the engine's shot. I mean, it looks in really good condition. So apart from the corrosion, the aluminum parts getting frosted over time. So I think it'll run. Next up will be ignition switch setup, getting that put in, getting the starter Bendix installed, and then seeing if we can actually start to crank it with the electric starter. And then we'll check spark after I find a plug that fits it.
Much later.
I got some stuffs in. Ignition switch and lock kit, and the starter Bendix. There. So there should be a, whoops, that is supposed to mount onto, up here. I'm looking at the wrong place on the column, on the steering shaft. It actually goes up here. As you can notice, there's no engine in it right now, because I have to deal with a broken exhaust stud, which we'll get to in a minute. So that mounts just like that. And then that pokes out and locks the thing to one side. On, off, lock. But first, I'm gonna have some fun with, see if I can get this thing to come down to a decent level here. Get some light on this thing. Stud there, no stud on that side. going to try once more with a little better access to that nub with some locking pliers. If that fails, then it's going to be the MIG and a bolt to try and get that out of there for a new stud. Yeah, that's going to be a MIG. Okay. I gotta hook up the MIG and get it plugged in and everything. Alright. See how bad this goes. That might be enough. I'm just gonna hit it from the backside. Oops, if I can't see that well. This. Get on. Stop being a pain. Feeling that that bolt is just going to rip off. What's your problem? There it goes. Yep. Bigger plier. Can just get it to let go. It'll come out pretty easy. Thing's gonna want to come out easy. I need the flat jaw pliers, but I can't find them. Just grab it enough to get it to crack loose. Can't tell if it's turning. It is. Yay. It's like trying to tie your shoe with other mitts on. Success! Woo woo woo! Thank you, Hobart 140. And I'll take a file and clean that up right there where that splatter hit. You can tell that this has been leaking a long time just from the exhaust carbon that's on it. Okay, I need to order an exhaust stud, and I guess we can try and get this thing running. Probably will just leave this thing out. I need to put the valve cover back on. I don't need to take the jug off now, so put all that back together. Put the battery in it and try and figure out with the starter all that stuff back together if it's gonna turn over. Possibly run.